Southeast Missouri came flying out there, according to James Gunn. Apparently, that's what Southeast Missouri sounds like to James Gunn. Anyway, we got a great show today. We're doing something special, something we've only really done once before, but not really. Like, remember that one time we had Tabitha come on and we talked about the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. We gave our reviews and stuff. Well, today I have my brand new best friend. She's also my editor, and she's a published author. She is a comic book writer. She is a human employed at RIPPAVERSE, Miss Carrow Brown. I'm so excited to have her on. You guys are absolutely going to love her as much as I do. Trust me, it's impossible not to. But before we do that, of course, sorry, there's like a hair somewhere on my face. I feel it, but I can't see it or find it. You know how it is. You know how it is, guys. Anyway, before we do that, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with any more of this nerdy nonsense screaming at you through the screen. And remember, before I start yelling good morning to everyone, members of the channel and super chats get their good mornings first, because it's only fair, right? We've been over this. It's only fair. So let's get at her, pitter patter. Good morning, Lieutenant Backyard TARDIS. Good morning, sir. Who else we got here? Who else do we have? I know, Deranged Lunatic. Good morning, Ensign Deranged Lunatic. Member of the channel. Are these the only two members we have right now? Yes, because they like to trickle in. We're not exactly an on-time army. We're very laid back, but that's okay. What we make up for in being alert and on time, we make up for in our super nerdiness. Good morning, Mostavine. I love that you were here early and counting down. That's very important. I appreciate you. Thank you. Good morning, Big Time Objective. Good for you. Good morning, Dreaming Tabitha. Were your ears ringing? We were talking about you yesterday. We're in when I bring on Carrow, we're gonna talk about that because we were talking about you. We were. Buenos dias, Fernando. Thank you so much for being here every single day. You are the real heroes. Good morning, Caffeinated Wolf. What's up? What's up? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Who's that? I think that's Miss Carrow. Hello, Carrow. Good morning, Monique. How are you? Good morning, y'all. Terrific Thursday to ya. Got hit with snow last night. And of course, the dog isn't happy about this. Listen, it is damn near tropical out there in Daniland. It is almost tropical. It is like 70 something degrees out there. My sinuses cannot handle this. I'm doubling up on the Flonase and Claritin. And the lemon and honey. I'm dealing, and you know, Tiny's not happy about it because it's rainy, so he's rainy day pup. He's rainy day pup. That's right. Who else? We have anyone else? Good morning, Maria. Good morning. All right. What cookies do you want? Apparently, Andrew from the Science Fictionary told everyone they were going to be oatmeal raisin, but joke's on him. I rather enjoy oatmeal raisin. That's right. That's right. They're good for keeping things moving. You know, they're good for you. They are. Especially when you seem to have pulled like an ab and it's harder to move things. If you know what I mean. All right. Enough of that crap. Enough of that crap. See, I knew you'd get it, Maria. I knew you'd get it. All right, guys. Let's, you know, not listen to me anymore. And let's bring on one of my absolute favorite people on planet Earth. I hope you love her as much. I mean, most of you in the chat already do know her, so I'm sure you're going to absolutely just go crazy and applaud like I know you will. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Carrow Brown. Yay! Oh my gosh, they're still going. They love you. They love you. Listen to that.
Drink water, everybody. Drink water.
Yeah, drink some water. That's crazy. Hi.
Hello. I like how you and I became best friends in the course of 48 hours. That was amazing.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
It really, but apparently not just best friends. We're
like twins. Yeah, no, like listen, chat. Like in the course of 48 hours, Dani and I realized that we're actually the same person.
Yeah. We're the same person. We're almost the same age.
Almost.
We have we have all the same likes.
Your leg is way cooler than mine. That's what I learned. That's your leg up.
Thank you. Hold on. I was
clap,
not
Andrew,
prepared.
Clap. That was my joke.
I was not prepared. Say it again.
So that's your leg up. Yeah.
There we go. So, Carrow, for those who don't know who you are, give us your Tinder bio on who you are.
Oh, I guess if it's Tinder, I like erotica and long walks in horror shops and anime. But the actual bio is I'm a person at RIPPAVERSE, and the reason I word it that way is because I pretty much just do everything. So there's like no real title that applies to everything that I do. Before that, I worked for a game studio. I'm an independent published author. I was with a publishing house, but they closed down. I just took my book with me when I left. And ever since then, I have been pretty much working with creatives, trying to help them be like successful and get into business. Because the one thing I love about creatives is that they're very creative, but when it comes to business, like they just kind of fall apart. So yeah, just a skosh. And so anytime I run into somebody who's like, yeah, I want to do this thing, I'm always like, so how much money do you want to make? And they're like, well, I don't know. It's like, well, you should nail that down first before you do anything else.
So what do you write?
I write a little bit of everything under the name of Carrow Brown, which is the pen name. I write urban fantasy, horror, sci-fi, and then I have another pen name called Faye Black, where I write romance and erotica and stuff like that. Although that one's been kind of like on the shelf for a little while because I've, for various reasons. One, I haven't felt like the inkling to like go out and write spicy stuff, and then two, it's like every time I write a spicy thing, like detractors show up and like, how dare you work for this company and write spicy stuff? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's 99 cents on Amazon. Thanks for marketing my stuff. I really appreciate it. So,
like, how dare you tell me what to do with my life and my product? Like, maybe I should just do whatever the hell I want, and you do whatever the hell you want, and then we shut up about each other.
Yeah,
maybe about that. How about that?
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting because when I made the Faye Black pen name, I was very public about it because I knew that if I tried to keep the Faye Black a secret, somebody would come out and try and like use it against me. So instead of like hiding it, I just lean into it instead. So it's been very beneficial. Yeah.
Genius. Well, let's pop in with the chat and see if they have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts, or concerns.
The chat. This is what I really like. I'm touching you, chat.
I'm squishing you.
Squishing. Where's Andrew?
Okay,
I squish you, Andrew.
Is that Andrew? Is he
he's Caffeinated Wolf. Yeah.
He's Caffeinated Wolf. Okay. Yeah. And I call him Nandrew because of Tabitha, of course. But real quick, let's tell Tabitha. So when I didn't ask, I told Carrow I was bringing her on today. I said, I've only ever done this one other time. I've only had one other person on the morning show before. Can you guess who it is? Like, just guess who it was. And Carrow said,
the president.
And I said, oh my gosh, you are so close. I cannot believe how you almost completely nailed it. It was Tabitha, but almost. So close.
It's even better than the president. Yeah.
So now we're calling you President Tabitha. So
yes, you were President K. Yeah.
Yeah, President Tabitha. All right. Speaking of President Tabitha, we got a $5 super chat. Says, we've already discussed when Dani becomes a famous millionaire, I get honorable mention and 23% additionally. I expect this super chat returned. All right, Tabitha. While I am going through other chats, please pick out what kind of video you want me to play in exchange, because this is transactional. This is transactional love here. You pick out what video you want. Do you want a Star Trek? Do you want a Family Guy? Do you want Princess Bride? Do you want Thor? Do you want Only Murders in the Building? Do you want Conan Dani? Pick it out. You pick it. Okay. So while we wait for her to choose. Oh, she wants Thor. You don't want Conan Dani? Fine. Anyone wants to see Conan Dani, drop a super chat. Here is Tabitha's Thor.
If you knew where he was, why didn't you call me?
You don't have a phone.
No, I don't have a phone, but you could have sent an electronic letter. It's called an email.
Yeah, do you have a computer?
No, what for?
I love that one. Thank you, Tabitha, for the $5 super chat. You are the real hero. Okay, so where were we? Oh, it keeps jumping around on me because more people are commenting. That's great, but I still need to be able to keep up and stay on track because you guys know I'm a flibberty gibbet. Okay, Mustavine, who is Carrow? I only heard of Faye Black.
That's a joke they have in the Discord. Every time I show up, we don't know you. We only know Faye Black. So.
And Andrew says, that's my friend. I'm wearing her wig at work this month.
Yeah, he's got to part his hair on the other side. He's usually got it on this side.
That's solidarity, my friend. Monique says, good morning, Carrow.
Good morning.
And Mustavine likes my intro music or your intro music, whichever. Thanks. That's great. Mustavine says, good morning. Ninja says, good morning, Vietnam. Excellent. Fernando. And Monique says, sisters from another mister. And Nandrew says, I am so proud
of my joke.
I have had a positive impact on Carrow.
He has so many dad jokes. You have no idea.
I love dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear? Okay, so my favorite one is, why do they call it a nosy pepper?
I don't know.
Because it's jalapeno business.
Oh. I like that.
Thank you. It deserves a... It super does. Yep. That was a good one. Okay.
Chat, put your favorite dad joke in the chat. I want to see it.
Yeah. Favorite dad joke. Let's hear it. Monique, dump it on someone who brings you a high quality value product is a new low. Facts. That is a fact. Most of you, what NDAs can you drop here? That's not Andrew. It's AI Andrew. Don't worry.
What NDAs can I drop? Eric has another thing that's coming out that I think you guys are gonna like. So I think that's our next drop right now.
Should I do the ASMR? Let me
yeah, do it for me because I don't have nails. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Tabitha corrects most of you and says, excuse you. He's Nandrew. Who is your favorite Rippaverse character and why is it Rinlin, aka girlfriend? Blue Shift is also an acceptable answer.
Well, my favorite character does wear blue, but it is not Blue Shift. It is Horseman, because he is my favorite military himbo, where he like kicks in a door and uses the power of gun to realize that he didn't plan very well. It's great. I love it.
That sounds fantastic. Already I'm there. Most of you, Springy and Blue Shift #1. Would you eat a fried version of Springy's species?
No, I would not. No.
I think that was for Thor, but seemed funny. I'm a flibberty. What now? I'm a flibberty gibbet. I'm all over the place. I'm a leaf in the wind. I'm a leaf in the wind.
Just don't get stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Wash.
Mm.
Good morning, Samar. What's up, sir? Good morning. DJ from the Red 5 Network, my birthday twin. Hello, sir. That's a spicy one. How's life in the comics and world? Well, I haven't gotten to talk to you in a while, sir, but big news. I am writing a comic book. And this lady right here is actually helping me
I am.
not be a flibberty gibbet with it.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you. We can talk about that later if you're feeling
I think
froggy.
we should. I think we should
We
talk
should?
about your stuff. Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we get through everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we should do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Pacific waiter, do you want a table? Response: no, I want food, not a table, please. Great dad joke. I'm going to give you a round of applause for that, or some kids cheering. A dad joke deserves children cheering. Is she a fan of G.I. Joe?
I watched it when I was younger.
Well, there are G.I. Joe comics. I have some.
Oh. Which
Maybe
one would
I'll
you
send
recommend?
one. I don't know. I haven't really read them, to be honest. Someone gifted them to me, and I think it's because Dave was like, yes.
Somebody
G.I.
tell me which
comics.
G.I. Joe comic to read. Help me there.
Yeah. Tell her that. Did you read the version of the script, the first one? Because it's so much better now. It's so much better. So much better. Tabitha says, I'm planning some fan art for Dirty Deeds. I need the book for references, but alas, I must wait. Well, for those of you who don't want to wait or want to wait, want to make sure you get your copy.
Yeah, there you go.
If you want to make sure you get your copy of Dirty Deeds, go to this link right here. And I think I've pinned it in the chat. Go to rippaverse.com/store/collection/dirty-deeds-1. Go to this link right cha and pre-order your copy of Dirty Deeds 1. How much longer do they have?
Until the 30th.
And
you got time.
Get on it. Yeah, you got a little bit of time.
If you're like, I don't have money, guess what? You can file for taxes right now, and you can use part of your tax return to buy a book. They're only $20, guys. Come on.
Under $20, actually.
19. Yep, one's 19.
Yeah. There you go. Get on it, guys. Get on it. Good morning, Vin. That's a long name, so I'm going to call you Vin. I want to ask Carrow, how does she feel about anime and manga? Okay, I'm so sorry. Manga being more successful than Western entertainment.
I'm not surprised by it because manga and animes had a growing fan base, I want to say, since probably the 1990s, just because they were doing things with animation and story that we weren't doing in Western society. So originally, in the 1990s, I want to say that we're in the US, we're pretty Puritan with the stuff that we put out. And because that stuff kind of came off as cartoons and kiddie kind of stuff, like everybody like dismissed it. But as people really looked into it, they got very interested in it, especially because the core story themes that are involved with, anime and manga are very different from what we do. So in Western society, we always have like common themes like trust your fellow man and don't give up and stuff like that. But in anime and manga, it's usually kind of like the work is hard, but you should still do it. Or they also have like the theme of like life sucks, we know it, but you have to keep going because there's good things in life worth experiencing. And I think the one thing that really kind of like was pivotal towards the animation, especially with manga, is that they were willing to push boundaries way before we were in Western society. So one really good example is Revolutionary Girl Utena, right? So that was super popular because it was pushing like social things where it was asking questions about like sexuality and gender identity. It was doing this way, way back, right? But because it was touching all those topics, we wouldn't actually publish it in America. Like it came out and they were like, no, we're not going to take that, right? But it got like this underground following to the point where it became popular and they finally brought it over. And what's really interesting is that they were the ones that were pushing those kind of conversations, I want to say, like in the 1990s, right? And so now, like in Western society, they're going to Japan and they're saying, like, well, you need to give us more of this stuff. And Japan's like, no, we've decided to like go back to like other stuff and like not talk about like this weird stuff that you're obsessed with. And it doesn't surprise me.
That was a very, very thought out answer. Like,
I'm really into this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think of that answer, Vin. That was great. Good morning, Omari. He says, I'm amazed how big One Piece has steadily become in the US. I have not gotten into that. I don't know why, but
It's still going. It's like over 1,000 episodes long.
See, I've never been real big in anime. And I think it's because I was traumatized at a very young age.
Well, what kind of stuff do you like?
Well, I mean, you know what I liked Full Metal Alchemist.
Well, I mean, like genre in general. What kind of like themes do you lean towards?
Sci-fi, fantasy, action.
You want Psychopaths then? That's right up your alley. It's like a cyberpunk sci-fi kind of story about a utopia and kind of like the things that are wrong with it. I think you would really like that.
Okay, I will check that out. I will do that. Okay. Use your code DREAMTABITHA for 0% off your order. Sorry, support creators. Good morning, Dane Ren Gray. Thank you for joining. Vin says, good answer.
Thank you.
Good morning, Anne Pinkava. When my brother was stationed in Japan, he made it his goal to watch all of One Piece. I think he actually did it. Impressive. Monique says, Carrow, I shouldn't comment on appearance, but you have lovely skin. Any sunscreen recommendations?
I usually wash my face in the blood of my enemy and smile a lot. So that's what I do.
Good. That's really good advice. That's amazing advice.
Thank you. Also, hi, Anne. Love you, Anne.
Hello. Okay, so let's talk let's go over like a couple of headlines really quick.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about dirty deeds. Let's see.
I mean, we can talk about whatever you want at your show.
Well, like whatever.
I know. I appreciate the illusion that I have a choice.
Okay, so we got a couple of things here. First of all, there's an announcement that a Jackass 5 is coming. Johnny Knoxville says, well, wang dang and hot damn doodle, we are starting the year off with a bang. We wanted to let you know that this summer Jackass is back. We will see you in theaters June 26th. My first reaction is, so what, in one scene, Johnny Knoxville gets up from a chair he's been sitting in for an hour just way too fast and like tears a meniscus. He's like 60 years old. What could they possibly be? Do we think that the time has passed? Or do we think now is the time? Bring it back. What do you think?
I don't know who this is for. It really feels like they're trying to chase like nostalgia and bring in some kind of revenue because it's the safe bet, and they don't want to try and do risky things like make new IPs or anything like that. So
this is precisely what I was saying yesterday. Like exactly what I was saying yesterday. That they just keep repeating the same stuff over and over again because that's the stuff people are like, oh, I recognize that, nostalgia stuff. But it's kind of this, and I was saying this on Latino Slant, it was kind of part of our We're All Hypocrites segment where one is, we want new things, but then a lot of the audience is like, wait, I don't recognize that. I don't know what that is. I don't know who that is. So then they don't go.
Mm-hmm.
But when they see something they do recognize, they're like, oh, nostalgia bait. I'll eat that up. Num, num, num.
Mm-hmm.
So the studios are like, well, that's an easy way to make money. I'm not going to risk not making money by putting forth any effort into the new stuff by introducing people and trying to kite them, market this new stuff hard and introduce them to new product and get them to new characters, new characters, new stories and stuff. It's a spot, man. Like how do we get out of that horrible cycle?
Well, I think so. There's two other things I want to add because Andrew brought up a really good point that people are doing stupid shit all the time on the internet and like making reels of it. So this movie already has like a high competition without realizing it, right? Or maybe they do, but I also think that probably like it might be like, I hate saying this, like this might be one of those money laundering movies, right? Where they make the movie and then, move the funds to other things, claiming it's like a movie expense or whatever. Because again, I'm like, nobody wants to see this. And as far as I know, at least from the grapevine, because this movie, I'm not the target audience for this movie. It doesn't interest me at all. But from the people who were the target audience, they didn't even like 4, right? So why are they going to give a shot with 5?
Someone literally just said this. Good morning, Loki. Jackass 4 was terrible. It shouldn't have happened. So,
this circles back to when you and I had like our initial like writer editor conversation, and one of the first things that we kind of talked about is like how is what you're writing better than a latte, right?
Right.
Yeah, and so it's like now it's these studios really need to like prove that their movie is worth going and watching, and we're spending like, I don't even know, what is it, like $22 to go to the theater now, like with the ticket and popcorn and drinks.
Yeah.
Depending.
Depending.
Yeah, and leaving my comfortable home, right? Like it's not.
And also, this is something we talk a lot about here, not just the cost of going to the theater and leaving your warm comfy home, but the fact that you're paying X amount of dollars every month for streaming services that film is going to end up being on in a matter of 3 to 6 weeks anyway. Yeah. So they've stolen FOMO. They're not putting a whole bunch of effort into it. They're not really asking themselves a whole lot of questions. Should we make this movie? Why should we make this movie? Why would people go see this movie? There's all these questions. Again, I think you're right. It's one of those, so what do they need money for? Like, where's this money actually going? Is it a money laundering movie? And I firmly believe, and I know that companies like Disney do that constantly. Disney does it to buy property. They buy stuff all over Europe constantly. Yeah. So, but I do like this. Knoxville falls and breaks a hip. Like, absolutely. Then, speaking of Latino slant, can we get Carrow in Latino slant? Oh, I'm sure I can make that happen. I know a guy. I know a guy or two. Mostevine says it's because they trust IPs more than established directors. I miss when they backed and thus built Spielberg, Lucas, Ford, etc. And it's not just that they don't trust the directors or the creatives anymore. They don't trust audiences anymore. They have that second screen directive now that's coming down from studios where they tell creatives, you have to dumb this down. You need more exposition, make it less complex, make it more basic, because people are on their phones, be it in the theater or at home, in their car, whatever, wherever they're at, they're looking at something else. So instead of bringing Muhammad to the mountain, they're bringing the mountain to Muhammad. They've stopped making it interesting enough to make people do this. They've given up. They've completely given up. And so now they've made things dumber. They don't trust their audience to be interested in what they're doing. So they hire creatives simply for the name and then give them a list and say, okay, do these things, stay inside of this box, don't go out of that box, etc., etc. And I don't know about you, but myself, I don't create well in a box like that at all. Like, what do you think?
Um, I think there's a lot of information that's going on that studios are working off of, and some of it's dated and some of it's not. A lot of the choices. So when I worked for a game studio, we had some choices that were made about the direction of the game, and the choices weren't actually made by the creative team or the devs who had to like program stuff, or even the owner of the company. Our choices ended up being affected because of the girlfriend of the owner, right? And that used to like kind of boggle me a little bit. It was like, why is this entity that's not part of the company whatsoever, coming in and telling us like how to make like these changes and whatnot? And that happens with like producers and stuff too. Like whoever they're with is like whispering something into their ear and whatnot. And there's also a fear base that's going on as well. So we kind of talked about streaming services and why people are not wanting to like leave their home. And originally movies used to be like a community experience, right? It used to be us getting together with friends being like, hey man, like the new like Lord of the Rings movie is coming out. Let's go watch and talk about it afterwards. And that social effect is gone.
Yes.
And I'm going to blame technology for it, because technology's made it really possible for us to show up online and talk about things. So we don't actually get together in person to discuss these things like we used to. Therefore, if we're not going to like go as a group, and it's going to come out on streaming services in 6 weeks, I'm just going to stay home. Right. And because the studios are seeing the massive ripple effects of that happening, they're panicked and they're trying to like keep the industry going as long as they can. And I don't know what testing and measuring that they're doing to verify what's working, what's not working. I wish I did know, but we could see some films, kind of like K-pop Demon Hunters, right? So that came out like on a streaming service, as far as I know, and it was hugely successful. And that actually brought people together to come talk about it. I bullied some of my friends to go watch that movie as well. I was like, you have to watch the movie. Like you have to. Like this is like huge. And that movie, I think, I could talk forever about that movie and about how it changed everything, because that movie, while on the surface, like had a very surface level story, it had like some really deep layers. And the thing I really appreciated about it is that it broke the thing with the girl boss, and it just had girls be girls, right? Like right up until the point, like at one point, like one started crying, then the other two started doing empathy crying, right? And they're just all crying together in like this bathtub, right? It was fantastic.
I've never seen it.
You have to. You have to. No, you would love it. You would absolutely love it. It's so good. Like, you know what? Like, watch it, and then we should like stream and talk about how it's going against everything that's going on in mainstream right now. And because it's going against everything in mainstream, it's why it's successful.
Writing it down.
Yes. And that kind of trailblazing is what the industry is, in my opinion, ultimately afraid of doing, because, at the end of the day, they're like, okay, well, we have to make money. So how do we make money? Let's just recycle and redo the whole thing over and over and over again.
You make some excellent points. And what I love what you were telling me about K-pop Demon Hunters. And I've had other people tell me that, it's really good. You should watch it. But the way you described it, with the breaking the girl boss thing, I have and not to self promote, but there's a reason for it. But I have a video called The Real Superpowers of Women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about where we're going wrong, or where major motion pictures, big studios go wrong with these main character women lately, is that they've given them male superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why people aren't buying into them is because they're male superpowers. Women have strengths.
Mm-hmm.
We have superpowers. We have our own. And it's more like flexibility and our ability to multitask. And I mean, honestly, our emotions. We are empathic beings. Women are toy boat. Words are hard, kitties. Women are our emotions. We have a deeper, more complex relationship with our emotions. And that's just the fact of the matter. We are empathic beings. That is so true. And to try and separate us from that is makes us not women anymore. It's our femininity. We can be strong and powerful, yet feminine and emotional at the same time. And so my theory, if you will, was that we can make powerful, amazing, leading superhero women characters based fully upon the true feminine superpowers. In fact, it's Tabitha's favorite video of mine. She called me. She's like, it should be taught in church. Be taught in church. But I used science and everything because, we have more connections between our hemispheres in our brain, allowing us to multitask more. Because back in caveman days, our job was to take care of our litters of children to make sure the saber-toothed tigers didn't eat them up, while the men were out hunting and gathering to bring home the food and everything. And our bones are lighter and we're more flexible, so we can have children and run and jump and protect things. We're faster, and there are all these reasons based in science for that, and why that hasn't been more explored and we haven't used that to create amazing female characters is absolutely beyond me. But to hear you sit and tell me that they were girls, they were actual feminine girls, and they started empathy crying, like that sold me right there. Like that one little thing right there. I love seeing that. There's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I feel like all this, like, I should say that I do think women are awesome.
Mhm.
How do I know? I'm a woman and I'm awesome. Like, hello, you're a woman, you're awesome.
Facts, yeah.
Exactly. And I do think we're incredibly capable creatures and capable of incredible, powerful things. I'm not saying that men or women are one is better than the other. We're both just as good as the other. It's just that we're puzzle pieces. We're
Mhm.
meant to complete the other. And the thing that I feel like has been kind of put out there with the whole quote unquote girl boss thing is that we're supposed to separate ourselves from the emotions, that being emotional is bad, being feminine is bad, and that makes you a hysterical woman. And, nobody wants that. That makes you bad. Don't be that. But that's what makes you a woman. That's who you are.
Mhm.
So I'm digressing, but I
I
get.
I wanted to add one
Mhm.
thing to your wonderful lecture. I thought that was really well worded.
Oh, well, thank you.
One of the issues that we have with women in film and stuff like that, and it's not something that's widely talked about, but it's something that I know, is that originally when these scripts are written, they're written with a male to play the lead. And then what happens is when the producer or the studio gets their hands on the script, they're like, we have to make that a woman character. So when in the movie, when you're watching a female act like a man, that's actually why in some cases, because that role and that script wasn't originally made with a woman in mind. They just flipped it. And sometimes they flip it because they're trying to be like diverse or inclusive, or other times they flip it because the producer wants to screw the model that's playing the role, right? Like it's stuff like that.
That's
What it does.
And that's the thing that irritates me the absolute most. Like, I love the process of, and this is something you and I have talked about. I love creation. I love the process of creation. I love filmmaking. I love the
Mhm.
process of it. But when you have the money makers, the bean counters, the suits, the non-creatives get involved and just start sticking their finger in the batter,
Mhm.
it screws everything up, and then the creatives get blamed,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, every
it's not
time a film
fair.
does really well, they praise the director, and every time it does really bad, they blame the writer.
Yep,
Yep.
every single time.
All right, so anyway,
And
but Jackass should not happen.
yeah, this was a journey. This topic was a journey. Let's see what the chat had to say about this.
This is what happens when you get two women in a room, guys. I'm sorry.
Two very articulate women. Nandrew, K-pop Demon Hunters is amazing. I need it in 4K Steelbook Collector's Edition. My relationship with my emotions is usually to tell them to fluff off when they show up. It's also why babies have incredible grips to hold on to their mothers. That is true. Monique, humans are meant to cooperate together. Yes. And woman face.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is, yes. It's also similar for toys, male, female head, some gender sphinx.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I can confirm that.
You be quiet, Andrew.
We have some super chats for you.
Oh,
we do. How to say this? Is that
your name is Ja.
Ja. When making character bios, what's the most information to list about them, especially pertaining to background and personality? And Ja, I will let you pick a video. Once she has answered, you have your choices of a Avengers, Star Trek, Steve Martin, Family Guy, Princess Bride. Go ahead. Take it away, Carrow.
I think that answer depends. I say that a lot. But if you're writing for yourself, then it's the information.
Sorry, there's another one correcting himself, saying most important information.
It really depends. If it's for you and it's something that you need, then it's the information that you feel that you need to remember about your characters. If you're writing for a team, though, my answer is completely different. So when you're making a character bio, you need to include a paragraph about their childhood, their adolescence, and then the third paragraph is the stuff that recently happened before your story takes place, like the events leading up. And this has to include like key moments, like, did they have a happy family? Were they bullied? It's something that defines them or shapes them. So I want you all to think about like a moment that like shaped you, like in high school, right? High school was a terrible time, but we all remember like that one thing that happened, right? Like maybe I got stood up for prom or whatever, right? Because that stuff like will be with us until like we die, right? After that, I would really, really encourage everybody to think about flaws and limitations, a character flaw. And so, for example, like, does your character have a hard time with stress? So they end up like drinking too much. That's what this character on the back behind me, she peeks behind my head. She does that when she can't cope with her stress. She just starts drinking vodka. Or you can also do something else. Like if they're in a situation where they have no control, are they an over planner? Do they have a planner for their planner? Right. And when you think about the flaws, I would really encourage you to make flaws that are almost like either enhance your character or it's something that makes them interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean like something that they have to overcome. Right. And let's see, character bios. Personality wise, I think when you write about the personality, you need to write about one thing I would encourage is a creative exercise is I want you to write about how the character thinks about themselves, how their family thinks about them, and then how their friends think about them. And you can actually do this for yourself as well, because this reflects on how your ego, ID, and superego are shaped, right? I did this experiment a long time ago when I was taking one of my psychology classes. And so when you write about what your family thinks about you, it's actually what you think about you. When you write about what your friends think about you, it's how you try and represent yourself to the world. And when you write about strangers who think about you, you're writing about the first impressions that you try and leave. So just fun stuff like that. Just have fun with it.
That's incredible. I just learned a bunch of stuff. You're awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. You're coming back, man. You're coming back. And remember, pre-order your copy of Dirty Deeds right now over at rippaverse.com/store/collection/dirty-deeds-1 right now. Right now. And Ja, let me know what video you would like me to play. I don't see you. I'm going to just assume that you want to see something super awesome and fun, and I'm going to pick it for you. So I think I know what everyone wants to see.
Danny, what is best in life?
To crush the rumors, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the nerds.
That's amazing.
Thank you. It's Dave and myself. Ta-ta. And you don't need to don't just worry about the screen recording, because this is going to be up on the channel, and she does have an amazing Substack.
I write a lot, yeah.
Yes, she does. And good morning, Penny.
Hello, Penny.
I hope you get to feeling better. I feel so bad. You've
Stop
been sick
dying.
for so long. Yeah,
Yeah.
stop being sick.
I'll stop dying if you stop dying. I think that's a good mutual agreement there.
You and your morbid sense of humor.
Yeah.
My daughter is the same way. Like, my daughter's father passed away 4 years ago. And she makes all these jokes about, well, I have a dead dad, so like, stop it.
Over at work, Kara, who's like our customer service representative, like for the last 2 years, she's been dealing with like heart palpitations and stuff like that, to the point where I would be like in a meeting with her and she'd have a palpitation and I'd like watch her like get really pale and I was like, are you okay? Right. And so, and not to be TMI, but like when I got diagnosed with cancer, I was talking to her and she's like, well, you need to live. And I was like, make you a deal. You don't die from your heart and I won't die from cancer. We'll meet each other afterwards and see how it went. She's getting better though. She's getting better. So that's good.
That's good. That means you are too. Yes.
Yes.
That's what that means.
That's the agreement. Yeah.
That's the agreement. And, you know, I keep you in my prayers 3 times a day. So that's
no wonder
what's
I feel so
happening.
good about myself.
Good. Dang it. I try to remind you 3 times a day that I can't live if living is without you. Can't live. I need to find a gif of that. Oh. So I just saw this from Star Wars News Network. And this is legit. It's multiple sources have posted this. Star Wars Starfighter, directed by Sean Levy, will have a lightsaber duel actually filmed by Tom Cruise. What? Like, I don't know. I feel like I can't articulate how I feel, like my feelings, because there's like so many and they're kind of conflicting. Like for one, Tom Cruise in a major franchise like Star Wars, you know, like I never would have thought that he would have got his witchcraft Scientology hands on something like that, like that he would be involved, like Scientology would allow him to be involved in something like that. Like, how much did Scientology pay to get him involved in this? So there's all of those first thoughts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then did Kathleen Kennedy go running through the streets yelling, "Help me, Tom Cruise"? Is Oprah going to show up next? "Help me, Oprah! Help me, Jewish God!" Is
jump up and down on the sofa?
Yes. Is everyone going to show up to help Star Wars? And two, like at the same time, like I do think that Tom Cruise, despite his, you know, Scientology witchcraft, handles Hollywood far better than most other elite actors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people ask the other elites stupid questions on the red carpet, looking at you, Mark Balkin, is this the gayest Marvel show ever? I can't stand him. Anyway, when when he asks people stupid questions, or when any elite gets asked a stupid question, they fall for it and they put in their 2 cents and they tell average Joe Schmo America who they should vote for and what they should think and feel. But Tom Cruise comes through and he's like, how about we talk about the movie?
Mm-hmm.
How about we talk about the movie? And I really feel like he has the theaters and actual cinema and creativity's best interests at heart. That Cruise could actually be amazing as a studio head. Like, could this be a good sign, having him getting behind the camera for once and maybe going one step further and stepping in as an executive down the line? What do you think?
I was snooping on the film because I was like, this is all very interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question first, I think Cruise actually would probably make a really good movie, because at the end of the day, if there's something that Cruise knows how to do, it's make money, right? He's done the interviews, he's been in the PR, he knows what works and what doesn't work. And I'll be honest, he's actually probably listening to his fan base a little bit more than most studios are, and he knows that they're just tired of this, right?
Yes.
And so at the end of the day, he wants to go back to making something that works. Now, what I thought was interesting was I was looking at the cast behind this, and this looks like oh god, we have to do something, right? So we got Ryan, obviously, and Ryan's in everything right now. They're slapping Ryan in everything that they can right now to try and save stuff. And I'll be honest, Ryan's not a bad actor as far as the stuff that I've seen him in, so it doesn't surprise me that they're putting him everywhere. And I think they're also trying to combat the Pedro thing as well, just a little bit. Yeah. So they're bringing him in. They've also got Matt Smith in there, who was one of the Doctor Who's. So they got him in there.
My favorite Doctor.
Yeah, they got Mia Goth and Amy Adams. And so they're bringing in a list of folks that have like a really long track record of being part of something that is mostly well liked. I'm going through this one guy who I've never heard of before. Oh yeah, he's going to bring all the black people in. Okay. So yeah, no, they're trying to save this as best they can. And so they're purposely picking certain cast members to bring in various different audiences. So obviously Matt Smith, Doctor Who, all the British people are going to want to see it, right? Ryan's in there. That's going to bring up like a lot of lonely American women into that film, right?
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. Amy Adams, she played Lois Lane. She was Enchanted. She's going to bring in like that nostalgia bait as well. Like, yeah. And then if you put Cruise's name on there, they're going to definitely be kind of like, okay, let me give this a shot again after Lucasfilm has broken so much trust with this particular fan base.
Yes. I think you might be right. And not just that, we're getting, because at least twice a year, we get the rumor circulating that, Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down. She's stepping down. But now we're hearing within a week or two that she is stepping down, and that we will have co-heads, Dave Filoni and this Brenner woman who actually has executive experience. So this one sounds like it has actual, and from what John Campea said, because he did his due diligence on it, and he said this one actually has some legs to it. This one is a lot more legit. So if this is true, that Kathleen Kennedy is actually stepping down within the next couple weeks, and now we have bigger name actors that are actually box office draws, and the biggest box office draw of all time, Tom Cruise, actually filming, not just the biggest box office draw of all time, but probably the biggest action star of all time, filming what is one of the most famous action sequences in sci-fi, a lightsaber battle. This could be huge for Star Wars.
It could bring it back, yeah. But one of the issues with Kathleen Kennedy, or KK as I like to call her, we're not friends or anything, but part of the reason we couldn't ever get rid of her was because she brought in all of her cronies into Lucasfilm. Yeah,
Best friend of the channel.
Yeah, look at her. She's so likable. You can see it.
She's wearing my shirt.
Yeah, she is. She's repping. I love it. Way to rep. But one of the shows, she brought over cronies in, so even multiple times when they've tried to like bring her out, they couldn't because of the way that she had built it. And so taking her out would actually cause more problems, and they would have to completely tear the whole thing down and rebuild it back up. So I think what they've been doing is they've been quietly removing her power base from Lucasfilm and replacing it with actual staff, because if you can't get rid of people, or if you can't change people, right?
Yeah.
So that's the general rule there. And it's going to be interesting because I know with The Mandalorian, she tried to come in and influence that in season 1. And this is from a source that I have. And so when she tried to come in and have a say in that, they basically kicked her out of the room and told her to not talk. Right.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when season 2 and 3 came out, they couldn't keep her out at that point. So, and you can see the ripple effect of how that went.
Favreau was pretty much done with Star Wars because of Kathleen Kennedy, because of her and Bob Iger. He couldn't stand all the meddling.
Yeah,
he couldn't stand all the meddling and stuff, the getting involved with this process, and because of that, and not just that, for some reason he had some kind of issue with Pedro Pascal right from the start, and which was strange because Favreau has always been a very actor's director since he came from acting. But for some reason he would tell the armor, costume, props, makeup department, leave him in the armor longer, make it heavier, make it hotter, like leave him in there longer, and
make him uncomfortable.
Yes, they would screw with him. And Pedro Pascal was a very soft-hearted people person, needs to be liked, he's
a sensitive boy,
very sensitive. And there were discussions around the table like, well, we've never said who the Mandalorian is, right? So if we needed to move on, we could pivot. So after season 2, Pascal was like, I'm so sick of this. Whatever you got to do to get me out of this contract, I have to be done. I need to be done. And his star had started to significantly rise as well. He was getting better offers. So that's why in season 3, Favreau was sick of their crap. Pascal was sick of it. And so you saw this huge pivot. The writing was really off. And you saw a lot of Bo-Katan in front of the camera and not a whole lot of Din Djarin. And now, instead of a final season, you're getting this movie, which we're all hearing is very goofy. And from what I've heard, this is the last of Din Djarin. He's probably going to die, and that will be the last we see of Pedro Pascal in Star Wars. And possibly, if Kathleen Kennedy sticks around as in charge, it'll be the last of Jon Favreau. He doesn't want to deal with it anymore.
Man, she's gonna be around like a freaking cockroach.
Well, she's said that she's going to continue to make movies until she dies. She's been a good producer in the past. I mean, she brought us Gremlins. She produced Gremlins. I'm not going to take that away from her. She's done a great job as a producer, but as an executive, she's absolute trash, and she should have been done like 6 years ago. That was her time to exit, like at least 6-7 years ago. She's old. Like, normalize retirees retiring, man. Like, make that okay again, please.
Yeah.
Like Nandrew says, season 3 was bad with like 3 good episodes. Most of the good stuff actually dealt with Bo because they were pivoting. They were making it about her. Most of Ian says, first Star Wars movie in theater since 2019, and they kill someone off again. Should be wild. And she was good under Spielberg. Yeah.
I think some
Yep.
people thrive in some environments better than others. Like there was a person I worked with when I was in the military, and when she worked in one department, she was great there. Like she was fantastic. She was a superstar. And leadership wanted to move her to another department that needed help, and it was the worst thing ever. Like there was something about moving from that one to the other one where she just completely fumbled the ball, and it just wasn't her wheelhouse, and her heart was definitely like not in it. So
Yeah, she's done, man. I mean, she should be.
sorry, had to. I'm an adult.
Hold on, I'm squeezing your head.
Yes.
Squeezing your head. Kids in the hall. All right, so let's talk about your comic that everyone can pre-order right now at rippaverse.com. Tell us about Dirty Deeds.
Well, Dirty Deeds is my sci-fi, since we're talking about Star Wars, good segue. And it's my sci-fi story about a ragtag wanted group that finds 3 humans that get kicked out of a wormhole, and they're like, well, since we need to lay low, let's go to this place called Earth and drop these humans off. And it involves all the hijinks and the complications that go with making that choice. It's definitely a launch pad for the rest of the story that's going to happen, and I'm really excited for folks to read it. It's definitely been a really big passion project of mine since I was greenlit to write something for Rippaverse, and Evan Scale is just like completely nailed the art in this book, and he actually did the colors too. It's the first time that we've had an interior artist do the pencils, the inks, and the colors, and you can tell like he really put like his best effort into this. It's so good, and he was probably like the easiest artist I have ever worked with on a project, like ever.
Let's see. Do we have any?
If you go up to collections, I'll teach you, doesn't it? Okay, so on the top bar, on the very top bar where it says collections, up, yep, and then it says Dirty Deeds, just click on that.
Okay.
And then scroll down, and you can see the banner art, and then if you put your mouse over those preview pages, you should be able to pop those up too.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at this, guys. I can use the internet. This looks freaking fantastic.
Yeah. And as Anne said on X the other day, I followed the first rule of X-Men, which was everybody had to be hot. So I made sure everybody was very appealing in this comic, at least the characters that I thought was important. Oh, Caleb's here. Hello, Caleb. I love Caleb. Caleb's one of my favorite people. Yeah, it's Caleb. He is a musician.
Morning.
He is a musician. You guys should go to his channel. You should check out his music. And then if you go to his Spotify, he's got this amazing cover for When He Cheats. That's absolutely fantastic.
Ooh.
I love it. He is also a creative of different things that I'm trying to work with him on. So, but he has to talk about it before I do. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
This looks so good.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I hope you guys like it. So as far as I know, all the pages are done. We just have to letter them and send it to the printer. So the hard work at this point is done. You can play the trailer if you want.
Yeah, let's play the trailer.
Oh, you got your sound off, I think.
So you guys couldn't hear it?
No.
Well, that sucks.
It's okay. You guys can go to the channel and hear it there too.
Yeah. Here, I will. Well, yeah, if you just go to rippaverse.com, here, I'll put this in the chat. There you go. Drop this in the chat. You can watch it and hear it for yourself. This looks absolutely amazing. I will be ordering my copy as well.
Yay. Thank you.
and says the clothes do their job telling the story. It's the artwork is incredible, and the little sneak peek that I have inadvertently gotten to read for myself is really awesome.
Yeah, because
So
because when we were talking about your script, I sent you the script for the Rippazine that we
yeah.
did. Yeah, so that one's out, but yeah, we were talking about like, comic script formatting, and I was like, this one's published. You can look at this.
It was very helpful. It was
Yeah.
very helpful, and I think I'm doing a good job.
You are doing a good job. You are doing a great job. When you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, I was like, well, you're definitely like 5 legs up on other people, considering you only have 1 leg. So good job.
Oh, that deserves it. I'm doing this, stretching this out so I can get to it. Make sure you guys go and you pre-order your Dirty Deeds 1 immediately right now. RIPPAVERSE.com. Hey, the cheapest one is $19. You
Yeah.
really don't have any excuse. You've got some Christmas money. I know you do. I saw what your grandma sent you. You've got a tax refund coming.
Yeah, help me out, guys. Help me out. I'm trying to keep my
Yeah.
job here.
Help you out. Help you out. And speaking of helping people out, Carrow is helping me out.
I am.
She's helping me out with my work in progress. And why is this off? One of my backlights turned off. Yeah, Dandrew says, let's get this to 100,000.
Yeah.
Over 100,000. Can't wait. Ordered cover A.
That's a good cover. That's Evan's cover.
Yay. So first of all, we met on Dreaming Tabitha's art party.
Yes.
Which I believe got started, and she continues to invite me on to torment me and my fake husband repeatedly, because everyone else draws, but I don't. I do makeup and special effects. And this time I ended up looking like Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh.
You did a great job trying to be like a gingerbread woman.
Gingerbread golem.
Yeah.
With candy cane eyebrows.
You did great. I was so proud of you.
Ridiculous. But right away, I mean, I think you and I hit it off like immediately. And the next day you messaged me and you were like, thank you for being nice. And I was like, dude, no problem. Like, thank you for being nice. It is so hard finding normal people.
Yeah, on these internet streets. Yeah, like it's working on internet communities is interesting, especially when you're talking about like people that have to like promote themselves or their stuff and things like that. Because I've had people that were like, let me onto your channel so I can talk about my book. And I was like, I have never talked to you before.
That's so rude.
Oh, yeah, they do it.
Like,
and
buy me dinner first. Jeez.
Yeah, like, but make some rapport. And that's kind of like, if you come on to talk about your book, and this is when my channel was more active, but it was like, if you're going to come onto my channel, like, we have to actually have like a deeper discussion about your stuff and about you and all this other things. And then we have to talk about other elements. And it's like, no, I just want to sell my book. And I was like, bro, like my channel doesn't even have like 2,000 followers, and like coming and doing this on my channel will get you absolutely nothing. But no, that would happen. And like at one point when I was doing writing streams, so it was just like I would just be like, hey guys, let's write together for an hour. People are like, okay, so let me on. I was like, why am I letting you on to my stream? It's like, because I want to write with you. It's like, you can literally write with me in the chat. You do not have to be on the screen.
Speaking of the art party we met on,
it's Igor.
Good morning, Igor. So look at all these fine ladies talking about a great book.
He was the art editor for the book too, so it's only great. Yeah, he's great because he was part of it. And then Andrew's like the letter editor, so he made sure I didn't have typos in it. It was really helpful.
Oh, that's awesome. So the next day we're chatting and you tell me that, is it weird that I think it's so badass that you have a fake leg? And I said, Well, not really. That's what I made my superhero about. We started talking about that stuff, and I said, but I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And you're like, send it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, really?
Yes.
I've never been able to have anyone else like actually read it. And if you guys join my Patreon, if you go over to my Patreon, and the first video is completely free to the public, and you'll be able to hear the story because it's kind of a wild story about how my first draft book got published, Vampire Slayer, One Foot in Darkness. I didn't have an editor. I am literally published. I am actually published. I own the copyright. Library of Congress, all of it. Did not have an editor, period. And all these years, it was always supposed to be a comic book. And now I actually have the time to sit and do it. And I had an artist last year or year before, and we were going to go 50-50 in it. And he ghosted me, like totally disappeared. Just he told me just use Celtics to write it. And then I never heard from him again. Like I sent him a copy of it or added him to it. And I would every once in a while, he's like, yeah, I'm working on some concept art. I'll get back to you in a week. Just give me a week. And every time he's like, give me a week. And then never heard from him again.
Yeah.
So I never legitimately had any professional or anyone who knows what they're doing read my work and give me any kind of constructive criticism, any direction, or just say, you know what, maybe it would just be best for you to, go this direction, just stick with what you're doing now. Because at this point in my life, after everything that I had been through, I was like, I think I'm ready to hear that. I'm ready. So, we met and you were like, no, you can do something with this. And I about fell out of my chair. I was like holding on to my desk, like, seriously? Don't give me hope. Like I felt like Hawkeye in Endgame. Like, don't give me hope. Don't do that. So she's now my editor, and it doesn't have a name. I'm just calling it work in progress. And basically, if you love vampires, if you love Greek mythology, James Bond, incidentally, okay, fantasy, magic, any of that stuff, hardworking ladies that have overcome extreme obstacles. Yes, I said it. And obstacles to chase their dreams, then definitely consider help supporting me as well over at my Patreon. I'll show it to you. This is what you'll get over there. Not only will you get fun stuff like
wait, scroll up. Let me see. Did you put my editing notes on your thing?
well, a couple of them, just some fun ones.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, some fun ones. Like I'll screen cap a couple just to have something to put up there so that people, because we don't have art right now.
Yeah.
Like I have no art, and
No, I love that. Because I wrote some fun stuff in there too. Because I was like, oh, this is gross.
Yeah, like gross. So good. Like disgusting. I love it. Or like I had a breakthrough. But it'll start off with this. This is the public video that explains why it has taken me so long to get to this point. And this was pretty much your idea. You had said, sometimes the story behind the story is a great story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have a great story. So this is the first public, post about it, the only public video about it. And that gives you a good idea of what the actual book was about, what took me so long to get to this point, what I'm working on now. And then I have some updates, like I'll even ask you guys, like, hey, I'm working on a downtown area for Walnut Grove, which is the town where my people live in. And yes, I know it's Little House on the Prairie, but that's fine. Walnut Grove was actually a trailer park in the town that I live in. So, you know, like ideas, some fun ideas for storefronts. I'll put in sneak peeks and random thoughts while I'm writing. These are my ideas of storyboarding.
That's amazing. Words.
Yeah. Well, you know, my dry erase boards and stuff. And then I have a video where I explain my universe, the rules and laws of my universe, how things work, you know, the lore, like where I'm going with this. So, and Carrow is absolutely a huge part of this. She is helping me out in a huge way, and it wouldn't be happening at this point without her, because I had no idea what I was doing. I don't care what she says. I had no idea what I was doing and what I was going to do next. So I can't live. Living is without you.
Well, I think you're on the right track for sure. Because when we initially, and I've had this talk with a couple of other people too. Because they're like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing, and I was like, have you started talking about it? And everybody's like, no, I haven't started talking about it. It's like, you have to talk about it. Like, you have to tell people that you're doing the thing, because 2 reasons. One, a lot of people will generally are going to be interested and want to support you, but they can't do that if they don't know about it, right? And then 2 is the accountability part of it too, right? So like Andrew in the chat, tell people about your book called Where. You have to be willing to do it. And some people are like, are just afraid of failing, right? They're kind of like, oh, but what if I don't do it? And I was like, you are going to do it. Right. And even if you fail, like, you're going to learn from it and keep going. The only way that you really fail is if you just don't do it. Right. So, and you'll find, like, as you keep doing this, it's going to build up confidence, and people are going to rally behind you. They're going to end up cheering you on. And sometimes how long it takes you to get there might not be the span. It might be quicker, it might be longer. You might run into roadblocks, whatever. But as long as you get to the finish line, that's what really matters. You know,
that's definitely what I'm working on. And I'm working on talking about it more, talking about it in a productive way, because I feel like, again, that word that Andrew's like, what is that? I'm a flibberty gibbet. I feel like when I talk, it's word salad. Like, I go all over the place. So being able to spit it all out cohesively, I feel like is my biggest hurdle. So, but like what I put out there today, and I was like, what do you think of this? And you're like, good.
That's great.
So I've got a great idea on making a little bumper involving that, and, you know, going from there. And I wanted to, you know, little aside for after the stream, I wanted to talk to you about, you know, recommendations for concept art, because I feel like I need something that I can use for now. Like, I need at least one little piece of concept art or something that I can be like, look at this.
You should do that. No, I mean, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. And one thing I'll say for the chat too is, like, when you share that kind of stuff with, like, your community and you let them see that and participate in that, right? Like, they have buy-in to what it is that you're doing. So for example, when I work with an artist and we're doing concept art, usually a concept artist will give me anywhere between 3 and 5 ideas, right? And so one time when I got one of those, I was like, I want you to just put a pin in that, because I'm going to ask my community. And so, like, in the community, I was like, A, B, C, or D, guys. And then they'll all vote and pick one, right? So, and that's really cool. And then on top of that, you can take that part of the process. I see you writing notes. I appreciate this. You can take that part of the process, right? And then you can make, like, a supplemental book for what it is too. Like, these were the options I had for making this character. This is what the community ended up, because that's part of the whole thing too. And then in that kind of book, one of the things you can do is you can actually thank all of your supporters, right?
Yes.
So all the people who are actively taking part in your Patreon, you can have a thank you page in the back. So, and like, and it's just things like that. Like, don't laugh at me, but there's a dating sim game that's made by one of my favorite artists. Her name is Leanne. She made a comic called Let's Play, and she wanted to do a dating sim. And in the dating sim, if you got to like a certain level, right, you could send in a picture of yourself, and you could be a background character in the game, right? So in her game, there's a tattooed version of me in the gym, right? And that's all I do. Like I just lift weights. So like that one time I was in a dating sim, right?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, this highly recommend notebooks of all shapes, sizes, colors. Take them with you everywhere. This is like my hip notebook, meaning it's attached to my hip. This goes with me from room to room just in case. And then I have my lore Bible. I have a notebook for each character. I have like a plot notebook. I have a comic notebook. I have a sequel notebook. I have notebooks for freaking everything.
Yep.
And it's my favorite thing in the whole wide world is notebooks.
Notebooks for notebooks, yeah.
Notebooks for notebooks. All right, let's pop in with the chat.
Andrew, where's the thing about where? Where is it? We want to see it now. You have to share it.
You have
Stop
to share it.
working. Don't roll your eyes at me.
Andrew says, I try. My brain and Carrow's brain make one fully functioning brain.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Cosmortal Comics. He says, I'm interested. Thank you. So glad.
You pitched it really
Please.
well because you were like, can I talk to you
Did I
about Greek
really?
vampires? And I was like, yeah, you can talk to me about Greek vampires. Tell me about them.
And not just Greek vampires, but Greek gods who
Yeah.
accidentally created vampires. Not just created vampires, but created vampire hunters and a brotherhood of scholarly sorcerers who like become the conservators of the hunters and protectors of the mortal world all in the same night.
You see how much thought she put into this? Isn't that nice? It's like you did research.
So much research. What can I say? I love this stuff. And thank you, Mostavine. Thank you very much. We have chemistry, I like to think. Cosmortal Comics says, it looks like my brain when trying to write. Yeah. Those are my dry erase boards. Those are exactly my brain when trying to write. It's lots of draw this over here, circle, no, scratch that out, and draw this over here. Lot. Nandra says Carrow is an immensely helpful writer. That is putting it lightly. Wait, called what? I'm lost. Frequently, though. Nandrew, you need to yap more in Discord. And Nandrew is laughing at asking where is. Where's where? I'm eating, woman. You don't know me.
You have two hands. Eat with one and type with the other. Come on.
Or just put your face in your plate like this and type. You can do it. I believe in you, Nandrew. Igor says Nandrew is such a great name. It's all I see now. Ever since Tabitha said that, that's literally all I see is Nandrew. Well, guys, we're pretty much going to be wrapping this up. Igor says, too bad I'm not having a boy or I would name him that.
You can, this is 2025. You can name your child whatever you want. I knew a friend that named their child Sephiroth. Don't limit yourself.
What about Nandra?
Ooh.
Nandra. Cosmortal Comics says Andrew is acting like he's never played a game with only one hand before. Silly. Maybe limit yourself a little. Why? Where's the fun in that? Where is the fun in that? Also, take some time while we're wrapping up and go and pre-order your copy of Dirty Deeds.
Please and
right
thank
now.
you.
Yes,
I like job security.
Yes, and you have until the 30th, but it would be nice if you did it right now.
I
Right
see it.
now.
I see it. I see the thing about where. Now we can look at it together.
Oh, we can?
Yes.
Okay.
We have accountability.
Nandrew, I'm writing an urban fantasy novel about a young woman who's a dancer by night and a veterinary student by day who finds a werewolf on her doorstep. Sold.
He censored that. He who is a stripper by night and a veterinarian by day.
Got it.
That was the whole thing that got me excited because he worked really well into the fact that she was a stripper because the story. I'm selling the story for you, Andrew. I want like 2% of your royalties, but so it starts off with like this woman. She's studiously at her desk. She's writing her notes and she's doing everything, and she hears a suspicious sound, right? And so she's like, I wonder what that is. So she gets up to investigate with her baseball bat because she lives alone, right? And her trusty Doberman dog goes with her, and she opens the door and there's an unconscious naked man like on her porch, right? And so like many Scooby-Doo movies, what she does is instead of leaving him out there, she brings him inside, mostly because her dog is like, this guy seems cool. And if you own dogs, when your dog usually does that, it's kind of like, okay, I guess you can come in, right? So she drags this guy in and covers him with a blanket because he's still butt-ass naked, right? And then she's like, well, I can't stay here. I have to go. And goes back up into the bedroom, gets into her stripper outfit, and then goes to work. And I was like, where's the rest of the story at?
Oh, yeah. We all knew it was a stripper.
I wanted it. That's what I wanted. I'm very excited by it.
Well, I feel like now I have to, and I feel bad, but we're gonna go back to me real quick.
Yeah, talk about you.
I feel like I have to explain this just like an eensy bit better. So my story, my comic that I'm working on that Carrow is helping me with, my main character is a vampire hunter who has a weaponized prosthetic leg. The prosthetic leg has a stake launcher, a flamethrower, a dagger that comes jutting out of the toe of her foot, spikes that come out of the shin. Like there's all kinds of cool stuff. Her twin brother is an engineer, and he's like the Q to her James Bond and makes all these things for her. And there's a third member of the party who shows up much later, who's a member of this brotherhood, and she's a witch and a medium and Cockney and Indian and super hot and sassy and basically id run amok and super powerful and stuff. And they have to defeat this demon king named Nibirius, who's trying to raise the blood goddess, the creature, the Impusa that created vampires and take over the world. So, and spoiler warning, Impusas have a bronze leg, so follow that through to the obvious thing that would happen, you know, if they win. What would a one-legged superhero do in that situation? I'm just saying. But there's so much more to it. It's so much grander. I have like so much background lore built up on it, but it's all very much Greek myths married with sci-fi and vampire lore, and she's tough, and she's got a really cool weaponized fake leg. So I just wanted to tell everybody that.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think I forgot to tell you, but actually, like in my first book, I have a military vet that also lost his leg. And it's
Twins!
funny. Yeah, that's why I was like, we're just twinning all over the place from family to books and everything else. But the fun thing is that at one point when my character meets the guy with one leg, they're actually fighting. And at one point when they're fighting, she like doesn't know that he has a fake leg, right? And she grabs his foot and pulls on it, ends up like pulling the whole prosthetic off, right? And then she starts getting mocked because she's getting her ass kicked by a one-legged guy. It's good. I was very proud of that scene. But
you should be.
But part of the part of the reason I wanted to write him as an amputee like that is actually because, you know, in my time with working with military vets, one of the hard things that they do when they lose a limb like that is trying to like reclaim like their independence and their mobility back again. And, you know, sometimes they rise to the occasion or they just struggle, right?
Yes.
And so I really love that your character like rises up after going through the period of mourning.
She still struggles.
Yeah.
She still struggles. They're still mourning. And that's something that is very much ever present, is part of the plot of that book, is that she is mourning that person she was going to be. That person no longer exists, and how difficult it is for her to mourn that person when she has to stare at her in the mirror every single day. Like that, it's so different than mourning the loss of a loved one, which she is, since their whole family died. Spoiler alert, their whole family is killed. Their whole family dies, so they have to mourn that. But on top of that, she's mourning herself, but has to look at that person every single day. So every single day she is reminded of who she is not anymore, and how damaging that is, and how she's not really acknowledging it. So she kind of pushes it into, well, I'm just going to go hardcore Billy Badass on vampires all day, every day, and completely ignore myself and what's going on here and with my family. So that was a really great how you teed me up like that. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Cosmortal Comics, do your vampires follow the rules, or they need to be invited into the home, or are they more involved? Great question. My vampires are evil, nasty bastards, and yes, they have to be invited in. If you join my Patreon, I have a whole video about lore, and it explains everything. It explains why they have to be invited in. It's one thing I like to do when I'm writing this stuff is ask myself why. I want to have an answer for it. I don't like leaving too many unanswered questions. I don't like holes. So over at the Patreon, whole video on the lore. It will answer all the questions about the vampires and why they are the way they are, why they have to be invited in, why they burn in the sunlight, why they can be destroyed with stakes, etc., etc. Thank you for that question. Thank you.
There was a book I read recently, and I'm not saying it because I want you to read it, but it was called Fred, the Accountant Vampire and His Unadventurous Life as the Undead, right? And it was funny because he was like, I became a vampire, and the only thing that changed is I work nights and I don't have food in the fridge.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, but it was like one of the things that got me, that's circling back to the rules question, is I kept wondering, it's like, so like, does he have to follow vampire rules? And he's just walking into people's houses and all other stuff. And I'm like, I guess not. Like, but my favorite part was at one point, like he has to do battle with some dragonkin, and they're very old fashioned. So one of the ways that they like to fight is through jousting, right? But because he's a vampire, none of the horses want to do anything with him, right? They're like, we have nothing to do with you. Like, we won't let you ride us or whatever. But lo and behold, one of the guys that's with him, he's not just a dude, right? He's a werepony. And so he rides his werepony in this jousting. Right. It was absolutely hilarious. Anyway, so
who is your favorite character in your book?
In my book? Felsier. I really like Felsier. And the reason, or Felsier, as Nandrew likes to say it, but part of the reason I really like him is because there's been like this pushback on like sexy male characters. And I don't mean that in the sense of like the female gaze, but it's just like, for some reason, like, we feel really awkward about making sexy characters. You see this all the time in romance novels, by the way, where like the writer will write like this very sexy character, but she's self-conscious about it. So then it always happens in the mirror where they like beautifully describe themselves, and then the character's like, I'm so ugly. I just like, nobody would love me. I'm just like hideous, and my hair's a mess. And I wanted to make a character that was good looking, suave, and very confident. And because I think that's okay. I think we should have characters like that. Just like in
Yes.
the just like Rinlin, for example, she's a bomb ass babe, right? And she knows she's a bomb ass babe, and she walks and talks like one. She's totally fine with it, and there's no shame in any of it. And I just wish that we would just let those things happen if we want them to happen.
Yeah. I say all the time, like, freaking Grace Randolph is so pissed off that I don't have enough women's in Avengers Doomsday. I'm like, what the hell do you have against hot dudes in tight clothes? Like, what do you have against hot dudes in superhero movies? That's why I show up. I love hot dudes in superhero movies. So kudos to you for including a hot dude in your superhero stuff. That's genius. God bless you. Thank you for your service. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
and then I know you're trying to end. I just wanted to. I thought this could be
keep going. I want you to keep talking about it.
I thought this could be a fun talking point for us because we were talking about women and stories and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you can see it, but like kind of like in the center there's like that white faced chick that's in the dark armor and stuff like that. Do you see her? Okay, so that's Sulia, and Sulia is a character that it's kind of like it's breadcrumbed into the whole story and whatnot, but I don't know if you can see her in there. Yeah, no, she's just on that cover. Actually, just scroll up to the banner.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's right there. And so one of the things I wanted to do with Sulia is that, you know how like there's like the career women, right, who put their career before everything else. Well, Sulia is kind of like that too, because she's a medic. She's a combat medic. And one of the things that happened to her is that when she was growing up, her father actually ended up dying in combat, and her mother loved her father so much that she ended up deciding to join him, right? Which resulted in her having to go and live with her cousin, who is the other white guy that you see there. His name is A-Rod. And when she was growing up, she decided to be a combat medic because she wanted fathers to be able to come home to like their families and stuff like that, right? But the downside is that because she was so fixed on that, when it came time to do like the family stuff, she opted out of it. So in Levaxian, because that's her race, that's what it's called, Levaxian culture, they usually give you like an assigned partner that's been proven to like genetically like make good children with, because that's how their society works. But even though that's your partner, you don't have to stay with them. You can like donate the needed bits, and then whatever happens, right? And so what she ended up doing is she has technically 2 children with her assigned partner, but you know, it's surrogated into like his chosen wife that he ended up going with, right? And that's not to say that her and the chosen guy didn't get along. They actually got along okay, but she opted out of, you know, attaching herself to him, and she opted out of having children and being attached to the children, so that way she could go do combat. And one of the things that you'll find in the story is that when she gets like subtle reminders of like the kids and stuff like that, it does hurt her a little bit, because she still longs for those things, even though she made this choice. And I guess that's kind of like my mirror discussion of like what's happening with women in modern day a little bit, where we give up everything for the job and then we end up regretting it later on.
You know, that reminds me of Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman animated movie that came out in 2011, and the Artemis, one of the Amazons, she's dying, and she's telling Hippolyta, she's like, you forgot. She's like, why did you do this? Why did you betray all this? Because she fell in love with, you know, Ares. They had imprisoned. Yeah. And she's like, why did you do all this? And she said, you know, I gave you everything. You had paradise. And she said, you forgot we are women too. You know, we wanted love. We wanted families. You know, that's who we are at our core. And I think that is an amazing character you have created. I love that. That's very well done. Yeah. And I love how into it you are, the way you talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and part of the reason I really love these two together is so Felsier is pretty smart, and he kind of picks up on that kind of stuff. So he tries to like treat her still like a lady, even when she doesn't treat herself like a lady in some places, except for that one time they were walking down the street and he made her walk on the roadside. Sorry. So
So, what was your favorite part when, like when developing the lore? Like, what got you most excited?
It was really just the characters. I really love ragtag groups, and when making the characters, I worked with them. I guess I haven't told you this story. I feel like I talk about this so often that I forget to cover it with everybody. But like, in the giant Jerry Springer of my life that you and I kind of like briefly talked about for a little bit. At one point, when I finally did go to live with my dad again in my teens, one of the things that we ran into is we didn't know how to talk to each other, right? Because I was a teenager, he was a grown man, hadn't seen me for so long, and he was like trying to be a good dad, but he didn't, he didn't know what to do. And so one of the things that we used to do is we used to watch sci-fi, or we would also watch cartoons like Batman Beyond, Justice League, whatever. We were watching it. And sci-fi is very special in the sense that it's a great place to have talking points with your kids, especially Star Trek: The Next Generation, because they have so many concepts. Like Roddenberry was well beyond his time. Nobody, I think, is really going to appreciate that outside of the actors that got to work with him. And a few things, like for example, there's like a planet. There's like an episode where Riker falls in love with like this Andronaut, like that's what I'll call it.
Yes.
On the planet of Andronauts, and at some point, like Worf gets like a boner for killing all these Andronauts, and you kind of see it start, and then it fades, and you wonder if he actually did kill them all, right? But in that episode, I was kind of confused by the people that chose to be this way, and why certain choices were made. And that was a great time for my dad and I to talk about like gender and choices and stuff like that. And being trans was not really a thing that was happening when we watched that. It was still kind of like a taboo topic that you didn't go into. And there were other things like there's another episode, it's called Hollow Pursuit. It involves Lieutenant Barclay, and it basically talks about the dangers of embracing escapism too much and making it your reality instead of being part of reality.
Yes.
And then you had like Terry McGinnis, who was having issues with like grieving, like, the loss of his dad. And at that point I was kind of grieving the loss of my mother, even though she was technically alive, but she had opted to not be part of my life. Right. So, there's stuff like that. And so through all of this, like my dad and I were finally able to talk, and he could be a dad and I could be, a belligerent child. And we had a great time. And when I made Dirty Deeds, I actually made it with all of the tropes and the stuff that my father and I liked when I was growing up, and there's a couple of caveats that are in there too. Somebody talked about, it's Mortal Comics says the guy with the big ass sword is my favorite. That's actually my husband's character. When I say it's his character, I mean, I made it for my husband because my husband loves broody swordsmen, right? He loves Berserk. He likes Cloud. And I was like, let's put that in there. Right. And of course, anytime my husband sees that character, he's like, we have to make the sword bigger. Like every time. It doesn't matter if the sword is as big as it can be. We have to make it bigger. Right.
That's fantastic.
At one point, Erod is going to be just riding the sword out in space. That's what's going to happen. Okay. But we did that, and there was some, and there's some fun things in there too. Like at one point, my dad and I were talking, and he was like, you could put an elf in anything and it will always work. And the leader of the crew is an elf, right? And it works. It works great. It's beautiful. And what I was just really excited about, I guess, was just to make this love letter to the things that shaped me, and to also kind of pay tribute to my father, who, we went through really arduous times together, and we figured it out, and we got to the other side.
You were talking about a particular episode and of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I happen to have
me about your sexual organs. Is that an uncomfortable subject for humans?
No, but it doesn't tend to be a topic of casual conversation.
It's a good one.
When you were talking about it, I was like, funny you mentioned that.
I know that exact clip. Yeah.
I've got that.
Yeah.
Well, I love the heart that you have put into this, the personal affection that you have. I'm knocking things over. The personal affection, not just for yourself, but for your craft and for your past, for your loved ones, for your family, for the genre itself. I mean, that's gonna come through, and I know it does. from just knowing you for the 2 weeks that I have.
We're best friends. We
We're best
figured.
friends. We're twins.
Yeah, we're twins.
We're
Yeah, yeah.
twins. Look out, Saskas.
I don't think we can take down the Queens of Scream.
No,
we'll be parallel in a different area.
Right.
Yeah.
We're making our own table. We've got that established.
Yeah.
So guys, do yourselves a favor. Pre-order this right now.
Meow.
Make sure you do before the cover you want is no longer available. You have so many choices of merch as well. There's so many fun things to choose from. Shirts, posters, different packs so you can get all the covers. Look at all this.
They're gonna
Go
make me
crazy,
sign
folks.
books too.
Oh yeah, signed books. Hell yeah, you can get an Arad poster. Look at the shirts. The shirts are dope.
I love the shirt.
this.
I love that poster. That I'm gonna like wallpaper my office in it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Do it. Let's talk about your sexual organs, B. I'm glad you asked. Gets sent to Alien HR. Good morning, Brimstone says, "Oh, I ordered mine."
Brimstone's so good. Thank you, Brimstone.
Thank you, Brimstone. Do you have any last comments? Any questions, emotional outbursts, concerns?
When are you gonna send me your next draft?
I have work to do today. I had 2 streams yesterday.
But that's not the answer. When are you gonna do it?
Monday.
That
I'm gonna send it to you Monday.
on the day I'm in surgery.
Oh, that's no, I won't send it to you Monday.
Can you send it to me Wednesday?
When do you want me to send it to you? How about that?
Wednesday's beautiful.
Wednesday. I'll send it to you Wednesday.
It's not a sensitive thing, by the way. It's not.
So everyone, keep Carrow in your prayers.
Yeah,
she has a procedure.
Yeah.
I like this one. Get it done, Dani. This is Polly. This is my Wednesday co-host over on the Latino Slant for the mid roast, my partner, and he's also keeping me in line with my workouts now, apparently. So,
oh, nice. You got accountability partner for that. Nice.
I know. And I pulled something this morning, Polly, in my abs. It was an owie, but I'll be okay. She'll meet you at the hospital. Like I'll be on a flight. It's only a 30-minute flight, but I'll be there with a script in hand. But everyone go pre-order right now. Meow. And get your dirty deeds while they're done dirt cheap. Get you some merch while you're at it. Support my twin, my BFF, my stop it, Polly. My editor, Mrs. Carrow Brown, author of Dirty Deeds, right now.
Yeah, help me keep my
Do
job,
that.
guys. Help me keep my job.
Job security is very important,
Yes.
especially in this day and age. And while you're at it, do me a huge solid. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more of this nerdy nonsense. Please consider becoming a member of the channel. We have so many perks for you. You get all kinds of fun little emojis and gifts and stuff. You get early access to all of my drops. You get some exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else. Your own community over here on YouTube and your own Discord over on Discord. So your own Discord channel over on Discord. And every Thursday, like today, you have your Throwback Thursday Theater where we have watch parties where we watch your old 90s, like early 2000s sci-fi channel comfort watches. Right now, we are watching Farscape.
Oh, that's good.
You should join us tonight.
I have another homie podcast tonight, or I would be there.
That's fine.
I love Farscape though. Like, talk about like Jim Henson being like, we can make Muppets in space. Let's go.
Let's do it. And we'll have like the hottest guy ever, Ben Browder, involved. So join us over at the Discord for Throwback Thursday Theater. by becoming a member of the channel. Because it is the Nerdling Army, I will address you by whatever rank you choose to enlist in. So go ahead, do that right now. And you can also show your support by super thanks, super chats, super stickers. They are super appreciated. This love is transactional, and I will show you a clip of one of my favorite things that I giggle at in exchange. So there's that. If that doesn't float your boat and you want to show your support in other ways, which will help me, get the ball rolling and help support the comic as well, you can scan this QR code right here above my head. Yeah, there it is. Yay. It takes you to that link right below Carrow. It takes you to buymeacoffee.com/comics and MUA, and you can tip me. You can chip in as little or as much as you can afford. There's that. And there's also Cash App. I know you have Christmas money. Okay. I know you're getting your tax return soon. You can help support the comic. You can help support the channel. You can help me literally keep the lights on and pay for some concept art. So go ahead, head on over to Cash App or buy me a coffee, chip in there. Speaking of which, go join the original Nerdling Army over at the Patreon. Get all the updates. Join us on the comic book journey. I'll come up with a name, I promise. And maybe I'll have you guys help me with that. I'll put a post out there today
that'd
and
be a
let
good
you guys
idea.
kind of
Yeah.
I'll let the Patreon kind of workshop some names for the comic book. So make sure you join the Patreon first so you can help us pick out a name for the comic book. So patreon.com/comicsand, 4 different tiers, and you get merch every 3 months for the first year of your membership. And as soon as I get some artwork going, that artwork is going to show up on your merch. So get on that, people. And there's also my merch store, comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com. Hundreds of designs created by yours truly, inspired by all your nerdy favorites on pretty much any product you could possibly imagine. We're talking t-shirts, koozies, mugs, pint glasses, mouse pads, phone cases, hoodies.
We like merch.
Hoodies.
Hoodies.
I have everything over there. So if you like Dune and Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Star Trek, Star Wars, like anything nerdy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com is the spot for you. I am an affiliate for a few different places. Check that out in the description below. Some of them I don't know what they do, like TikTok and CapCut. I don't know what these links do. I have no idea what I get out of them. They don't tell me. They just gave them to me. So try them out. Tell me what they do. No one's gotten back to me yet. So maybe people disappear. Is that what's happening?
If you click on link and don't come back, what happens?
Yeah. No one's ever told me. I've been telling people, click the link, go to this link and tell me what happens. And then nobody tells me what happens. So I'm just going to assume that people are clicking these links and then disappearing because
into scroll hell. That's what's happening.
Disappearing into the scroll.
That's the new Tartarus. It's scroll hell.
Scrollverse.
Oh.
Scary. Okay. Just about everything I've explained to you today can be found on my website, comics-and.com, which I do need to update. Puts it on schedule. Yes, I need to update the website, but you can find my reviews, my special effects portfolio, my MUA portfolio is all in there. Some information about myself, about the channel, and some other fun stuff over there at comics-and.com. This podcast is powered by the Red 5 Network. We are a collective of exclusively nerdy podcasters and content creators here to educate and entertain you. So if you like this podcast, chances are you're going to love more of what the Red 5 Network has to offer you. So check out red5.bio.link today to discover more of your Red 5 family of podcasts. I don't know why I said it like that. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Backyard TARDIS. He says, Star Trek clip today, but I do not have a request for the future for Stargate to be made. Okay, I will make a Stargate in the future. Let's find a Star Trek clip. We already did the human penis one. How about this?
morning, darling.
I love John Delancey. He's my favorite.
Mine too. Twins.
Yeah, I got to I actually got to talk to him. So
Oh.
I got a photo somewhere of us together. He put his hand on my shoulder. It felt intimate, but it was for the photo. So
I'm verklempt.
okay.
I'm so jealous.
We'll just have to make it a goal that we get a photo with him together. That's what we'll do.
Yes. Write that down. It's on the schedule.
Hello, Mercu. Hello.
Hello, Mercu. Yeah, you're really late. We were here like 2 hours. It's okay. You can catch the rewatch. It's fine. It's fine. You can go join my Patreon and pre-order her book to make it up to us.
I think Mercu's already pre-ordered my book. So you just need to follow my twin. That's all you need to do now. You've done half the work. Do the other half.
Yeah. See, you're halfway there. Patreon.com/comicsin. There you go.
You know, I think what I really appreciate that this stream is highlighted is like how when you talk, you have the extra exclamation points after when you speak, and I don't.
See, I told you, I write how I speak.
Mm-hmm.
You can't edit me when I talk.
I can't, no.
Nope, there you go. Nandrew says, this has been a great stream. Everyone who is late should watch the video on demand.
Yes.
Do it.
All
right, guys. This has been so much fun. Carrow is definitely coming back, whether she likes it or not. I'm sorry, I was reading this at the same time. Carrow is also a life coach.
I am actually. I am certified life coach. It's true.
Yeah. We have amazing chemistry. She's coming back. I've already told her, like, it's a thing.
No. She told me now.
I'll tell you later who this is.
Okay.
Two CDs. All right, guys. I've been Dani. She's been Carrow. You've been amazing. And I will see you tomorrow with more of this dirty nonsense. Keep your eyes peeled because I heard
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.